morning, good morning, good morning. Today is my rest day. I'm working 4 days a week. I want to be exercising 4 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday are my rest days. I might do some cardio on those days. Maybe. Still thinking about it. Thinking as I go. But yeah, my agenda for today, I am gonna drive out to Fairborn, Georgia, just to see how things are. There we go. That's one thing about saying this apartment complex. We got the goddamn weak ass garage door openers. But yeah, I'm about to head out to Fairborn. Look at these apartments. I had applied for a warehouse job over there, and I have orientation Friday, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm doing first shift. I've never worked first shift, and the thing is that I need some checks, because in order for me to get to the apartment, I need to show proof of income, and that I make 2 times, 3 times, 4 times the amount. So me doing this Uber shit and DoorDash shit and working at this warehouse is great. I think that will help me out. Also, I have an interview tomorrow at 1 p.m. in Sandy Springs with Whole Foods. And the reason why I applied to Whole Foods, because I used to work at Walmart and Sam's and all that type of stuff. And Whole Foods is more like upscale, and it pays more based off the fact that, you know, it's an upscale grocery store. They sell natural products and stuff like that, and everything else. So I am on a mission, as you can see. But I want to talk to you guys about this Fresh and Fit debacle. So last night, I haven't been on IG in a while, so forgive me. I'm still doing my social media fast or whatever. But I'm only on Twitter right now and YouTube. That's the reason why I've been posting consistently. But Fresh and Fit had an IG live with Farrah Gray and Malik Shabazz type of guy. I guess he's he's a new leader of the new Black Panther Party and stuff like that. And from what I've got from that live stream is Fresh and Fit, they're not backing down. They're not backing down saying, hey, we don't date black women, we don't date, Shaniquas and all that type of stuff. And my whole opinion about that whole situation, look, you can have a preference, but don't be calling people out. Don't be saying, oh, they're Shaniquas or Pookies and Ray Rays. I don't fuck with like the whole Tyrone, Jamal type of situation. I don't fuck with that shit, because it's giving off a negative stereotype. Even though that shit is true, because a lot of black women, and let me rephrase that, majority of black women, especially out here in Atlanta, some in Chicago, hell, Houston, fucking everywhere, any and everywhere across the United States, they have this ratchet ass mentality, and that's very unattractive to me personally. But at the same time, if you're going to generalize all black women like that, that's wrong, bro. That's wrong. But they had an interview with Farrah Gray. I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong, so forgive me. And there's pretty much asking him, he's like, hey, they asked Myron, like, how do you feel about, the stuff that you're saying, and you're generalizing black women and stuff like that. And Myron pretty much said, look, we talk about everybody, Asian women, Latin women, white women, we talk shit about everybody. We live in this clown world when everyone gets their feelings hurt when we talk shit about people, right? And he also says that, hey, our target audience is not even for black women. Our target audience is for men of all races, which is true, which is very true. Their targeted audience is for men like me, like Adam, like Antonio, like fucking Shang-Chi, like everybody. For Abdul, everybody, right? So that's very true. And they do make fun of other races. They do. They talk shit about Cubans. They talk shit about the Puerto Ricans. They talk shit about, you know, the Caucasians, the Asians. You know, they talk shit about everybody. They're a politically incorrect podcast. They're a politically incorrect podcast. And what they're doing right now, they're challenging cancel culture. They're challenging cancel culture, which needs to be challenged. They talk shit about everybody. But at the same time, when you're talking about black women and understand, like, here's the thing about Fresh and Fit. Myron, aka Abdul, is Sudanese. Fresh, aka Walter, he's from Barbados. These are two people that are immigrants, right? They migrated to this country, right? And they believe that they're black. Now, culturally, they're not black. Sudanese have their own culture and is very different from black American culture. Barbados culture is totally different from black American culture. But their ideology is, hey, I'm black, you black, we all black. And this is where I step in and say, look, you guys might have the same skin tone, right? Not even the same skin tone. You might have the brown skin complexion as a black person in America, but you guys are black. You guys culturally aren't black. You might listen to the music, you know, you might go through similar racism and shit like that. There's a difference between being an African American or an island American and a black American. There's a totally difference between those three. Because there's some islanders that be racist, that fucking hate black Americans. And that's due to cultural differences. Cultural differences. There's some Africans that don't fuck with black people. And that's due to cultural differences. So culturally, they're not black in my eyes. They just have the skin tone to pass by it, right? To pass through whatever. Because a lot of people there was a lot of people that didn't fuck with Myron because he was saying the N-word. But the fact that a lot of niggas believe that, oh, since he's from Africa, he's truly black. I remember when I was younger, and I used to ride the bus, and this Egyptian kid kept saying the N-word, and I'm like, bro, you can't say that. And when I was younger at the time, so I was assuming, you know, I'm from Africa, all that type of shit. So he's like, hey man, I'm from Egypt, from the motherland, so I'm blacker than you, type shit. Knowing this information that I know now, I would have been like, yo, bro, just because you're from Africa doesn't make you black. Doesn't correlate to that. There's a difference between being an African American compared to being a black American. There's a totally difference. Whole ass difference. Culturally speaking. So, Myra says, hey, our targeted audience isn't for women, it's for men of all races. So then they get Malik Shabazz, right? This Malik Shabazz. Anytime a nigga named Malik or Shabazz comes in, bro, you gotta be careful dealing with that shit. But they did not, and this is where Fresh comes in. They did not fold. They were like, yo, Fresh was like, look, nigga, how old are you? You like 70. Look, I grew up in Barbados. All my life, I've dated black women, right? He dated Barbadian women. Did I say that right? Barbadian? Maybe. He dated Barbadian women, right? So, but because of life experiences, he likes Caucasian women. He dabbles in the vanilla. And we have to have a conversation about that, because a lot of these athletes, they come from the hood or whatever, and they date black chicks all their lives, right? But as soon as they get into the league, or they get into Hollywood, or they get into a higher status place where there's number of options have increased due to them, you know, being in that space, they'll start dabbling into Asian women, Latin women, white women, you know, Indian women, different types of women, Arab women. Like, you see it. And me personally, growing up in the suburbs, I've seen black men date, you know, white women. Shit, I dated a Mexican woman, and she wasn't even like brown skin like me. She was light. She was fucking lighter than me. And niggas were still judging me, like, what you doing dating that Mexican? Like, come on, bro. So, but I'm different though. I grew up in like a lot of white people, and technically I should be dating white women, but because my mom gave me that speech, you know, gave me that fucking don't bring that white woman home, you know. And I know personally, like, other niggas experience dealing with white women. Like, one of my guys I used to play football with, his older brother dated a white woman, and she wasn't supposed to have sex with him. Did you know she filed a rape report? She accused that man of rape, and he had to explain himself, hey, I didn't rape her or whatever, because she knew that her parents would be pissed off if they brought home a nigga over there. So you have to deal with that aspect. And that's the reason why personally I didn't date white women like that, because I saw that shit. And plus I was doing like a lot of goofy lame shit too. I gotta be honest, I did a lot of goofy lame shit. But listen, they can have their preferences, right? Everyone has their preference. I think if they would have just said, hey, we don't date black women, I prefer different other types of women, without having to say Shaniquas and all that type of stuff, it would have been fine, and they wouldn't get the backlash. They probably would have got the backlash anyway, because of what they're saying, what they're teaching to men, all that type of shit, and it wouldn't be as hectic as it is now. But to finish up, so Malik Shabazz comes in, right? And Fresh comes in, and he shows his dog. He's like, nigga, how old are you? You 70? Like, he's already coming in insulting this man. How old are you? You 70, nigga? I was like, oh, here we go. You come at this nigga age? And he's like, look, I dated women from Barbados, and they were all black. With that being said, I have a preference. You have a preference. I don't care what you date. You just like you shouldn't care who I date or who I fuck. And Malik Shabazz is like, yo, you too black, you too big nose, you too chocolate, you too, like, he's really going in on his skin tone, which didn't really help. And then Myron's like, yo, you're a clown, bro. You're a fucking clown. Like, you're using racism against racism, which I don't think that's I don't know, they're just throwing out words. I don't think that's racist because, you know, I understand sticking with the black woman and building black families and all that type of stuff. But at the same time, if niggas don't want to do that, you know, not every nigga cares about, you know, the black community like that. And once again, they aren't culturally black. In my eyes, they're not culturally black. So a lot of people have to get out this notion of they might consider themselves black, but me personally, culturally, they're not. In terms of like how they look like, you can tell like Fresh is from a different culture compared to Myron. You can tell Myron looks more Middle Eastern. Fresh, he can pass as a black American if he wanted to, but when he speaks, you can tell, oh, he's from the islands. So my thing is this. After all that being said, they did not back down. They did not fold. It was kind of immature how they handled the situation because Myron put on the clown mask. It was like, bro, you're a clown and all that type of stuff. Fresh is laughing and shit. Like, they could have, you know, handled this professionally. And the Fresh and Fit podcast is literally the Tekashi 6ix9ine of podcasting. That's exactly what they are. They don't give a fuck about any of that shit. Any morals, any type of professionalism, any type of shit. They believe what they believe and they stick to it. Do they have very good videos, very good content? Yes, because I still watch it. I'm a black American and I'm saying that. I still watch that shit. It's a very, very entertaining podcast. And it's very informative too. So they do bring value to other men. It's just the fact that they're doing it for the clout as well. And clout don't last long. So that's my take on the Fresh and Fit debacle. I hope you guys have a great day. This is your host, Stevie B, of the Miseducation of Stevie B podcast. I will be live Thursday, tomorrow technically, at 10:30. I might have an interview. Might be doing an interview with somebody tomorrow. I gotta hit her up, make sure she's good. If not, it's just gonna be me, and I'll probably go more in depth into this situation. But you guys have a great day, alright? Peace.